Good afternoon and welcome back to lovely Altenstein. We've had our lunch break. We've finished selling almost everything. The last thing we have to sell is the barley right here at Gomez Ridge Acres. We've sold all the silage. We made $24,000 doing that today. We got a much better price than yesterday. Not being too familiar with the economy, I wasn't aware of that, but we got about $120 a litre, per 1,000 litres more today, and we had twice as much to sell. So let's just sell this barley. We'll just check that we're at the right price. 337, we'll take that today. Wright's Agribusiness are offering a better price just to annoy me, but not to worry, we'll ignore them completely. So now we have, can we make it to 65? Not quite. We have $64,500 at our disposal. What are we going to do with all of this money? Well, let's head down to the shop and we'll have a little think about it. I've had a long chat with Grandpa. We've got a few jobs to do in the yard. The forestrit and the hats are absolutely filthy. We'll be back to wash them soon. Grandpa still fixing the second bike. One of the students borrowed the other bicycle just to go into town to get some sandwiches. So here we are down at the shop, and what are we going to buy? Well, the first thing on our list is a small plough, because we've got those small meadows we want to plough out and replant with grass. So we are going to go for this Ransom's TS90 3F, $2,270, 1.3 meter width. I think we actually get a little bit more out of it than that. We're going to buy him. While we're in the store with the low loader, we are going to buy 2 more pallets of seed. The trailer with the other 2 bags of seed on it, I've taken up by field 18 to a shelter up there. It's where the Massey seeder needs refilling on its way around the farm, so it makes sense. So these 2 will keep up on the main farm, and we really do need another vehicle, so we are going to buy another vehicle. And we had to send back the Fiat crawler. There is another crawler available. It's a mod by the same guy. The credit is down below. I'm sorry, I can't remember everyone's names, and I haven't got the browsers open on my computer. So it's right here. The problem I've had with it is on hills, which we have here in Altenstein, it slips and slides around. It has some kind of traction issue. So anyway, we're going to stick with a Massey Ferguson pack. We are going to buy ourselves their version of a crawler. It's a little bit quicker. It doesn't crawl. It's the Massey 200C tracked tractor, I think would probably be the best description of it. We are going to put a front loader attachment on it, and we are going to put it up to 88 horsepower, which is as high as it goes, 66 or 88. We'll put a sunshade on it just for a bit of variety. It always seems to be very sunny here, and of course we need a warning triangle to keep the students safe. And that leaves us with, let's buy that first, and we've got $32,000 left. Still got some more money to make today, because we're going to have the afternoon's harvest to sell, or we may keep some till tomorrow. But what we can now do is get this loaded up, and then we've got another purchase to make before we head back to the farm. So we'll jump in the Massey 600, start him up, get the forks out of highway mode, and we shall get these things up on the trailer, take all these back in one go. Well, I guess the bulldozer, I'm going to call that a bulldozer so often it's going to annoy you, I'm sorry. Could actually do it. I've done this the wrong way round, but you know, you're never stuck in Altenstein, there's always a way, sorry. I know there are purists, but every so often you need to be a little bit cheeky. Now actually, without a back weight, these bags, they are so heavy. The physics on these bags is very odd. They're only 2,000 litres of seed or fertiliser, but the weight doesn't sit at the bottom the way I think it perhaps should. therefore they're very hard to stand up if they should fall over. Right, we've got hold of him. Don't have to lift him very high to get him on the low loader, and once he's on, the tension straps will keep him there. We can just lift it high enough without a problem. Right, down, and don't drag it over. Right, we're just going to put a strap straight on him. I've learnt my lesson now, so easy to knock over. We shall keep them secure at all times. And the 200C is already doing its first job, which is making sure this bag hopefully can't fall over. Missed it completely there. Another advantage of the low loader is that the bags of seed are easier to... Oh, come on. This is what back weights are for. If only I'd thought to bring one. This is where I'm really scared I'm going to knock the other bag over. No, that's on, that's on. We'll take that. Fantastic, they're both on. Right. So we're going to leave you here for a minute. And we'll get this stuff back up to the farm. And close those ramps because we've learnt our lesson. There we go. And we'll just hop over here and have a look at this machine. I'm not going to buy a front weight for it. It doesn't really need one. It's very stable. You'll have seen a lot of it on my Sosnovka playthrough as being very heroic in the woods. It's another one of the Massey Ferguson pack vehicles. It's splendid. It works very nicely when you're inside and you steer. The sticks move with your invisible arms. You've got the same digital dash layout that's on the Massey 600. Basically seems to me to be a tracked version of that vehicle over there. So let's fire her up and head over to the animal dealers across the street, because in a show of support for us we've been offered a little deal, a discount, which we are definitely going to take advantage of. We've got 8 sheep. I've not done sheep much in this game at all. In fact, I've forgotten to do something, haven't I? We need to go back to the shop. Excuse me. Oh look, gridlock again. Oh well, it's keeping this end of the street clear for us. I'll take that. We need to lease something, because it will save us a little bit of money. And that thing in the animal section is a mod trailer. The Bruno HSRB 5390. Now, to lease it only costs just under $700. That's the price you'll be charged by the animal dealers for moving 3.5 animals. So that's going to save us some money. So we're going to lease that. Won't take us an hour to do it. And we can move our own animal purchase, which is going to be sheep. Now these tracked vehicles, and this one especially because it is a bit quicker than the other two, when it turns it twists, it turns kind of, you know, as you would expect a tracked vehicle would, but it is a little bit different to the tractors, so it does take a little bit of getting used to, especially when you're towing different machinery, but you'll pick it up in a couple of minutes. I actually like these tractors. Right, here we are. Now we're going to buy sheep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 15,400. We're going to come back and buy another 5 sheep. We've got a bit more money to make today, so that's okay. So let's get these guys. No, I didn't confirm the purchase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Confirm. Yes, there they are. All happy. Nice big bunch. We can make lots of different colours of wool. And we're going to cut across here. And on the way across, I'm going to zoom right out and I'm going to stay external. Just look at what we have here. Now, one of the students, in an amazing display of initiative, took it upon herself to plant the corn. You'll see better when we get around the other side, all the way across the width of this area. They basically just carried on planting right over the the grass boundary. We'll give the sheep a little tour of the farm without getting stuck on the fence, shall we? And then you can see what I mean. Yeah, this field to the right of the vehicle, that's what I mean about it twisting when it turns, is now a series of very long runs for the harvester. The student just missed out that boundary. Excuse me, corn, you'll be okay. So gave us a bit of a heads up on how we might think about ploughing this out, because once we got Simon's field, which I don't think is very far away, and this whole area is ours, we can look at how we actually want to have the field layout here. We've also got the border over beyond there, the grassed area that can come out and be cultivated. I do like this little piece in the middle, just gives us a bit of space to maneuver and leave some equipment during the harvest, but we'll see. Anyway, we're going to get these guys put into their new home. There's one of the small meadows here, which, as I say, I think we're going to plough those out and replant them with grass, and I'm sure that will give us the yield. That seems to be the difference on this map. If workers can work on grass fields straight away, you're getting the yield as if it's been planted. From what I've seen, if that isn't the case and the workers won't work there, then it needs to be ploughed out, and then it will act as seeded grass, and the yield should go up quite noticeably. We'll certainly see after the first field whether it does or not, because we are aiming to use everything. At the moment we've got our huge areas of grass here which you still haven't picked up. Labusha, bless it, it's one of Grandpa's favourites, but with a 10,000 litre capacity and quite a trek over, I've gone straight past where I need to drop these guys off, but I can twist back through here. There's our bale of wool slowly building up over time, and it will do so quicker. We're going to over double. We've got 8 sheep now. We're adding these 5 and then another 5, which we shall bring up during the course of the afternoon. Now, if you want to know how to get your friends to give you a discounted price on some of the animals, you'll need to see the video we've got up of the season's glitches. I'm just going to zoom in, because what we can do on the trailer is it does have a door. There's a door, but that's not too useful, and the sheep don't seem to favour it. And if we do the left bumper, we have got these fold out railings. There you go, so we can't lose any sheep, even though unfortunately there's no animation, but if there was, it would be very jolly. You put those away. Luckily they have no collision physics. I've fertilised these grass fields here with the doits and the slurry simply because I could get on and do that. Catching growth stages on grass can be a little bit of a challenge, and I want to make sure I get at least one fertilisation down before it's grown, and then I know that as long as I do it before I cut it, it's at its 3 lots. Anyway, I shall go and get the rest of the sheep. We shall then introduce this creature, this machine, they're almost like creatures to me, to the fields and get him on working. So I shall be back with you very shortly. So back in the farmyard, we're just going to give the hats and the harvester a very quick wash before Grandpa tells us off. The Busher's still hiding in the cattle shed. And what I was saying about the Busher was basically it's 10,000 litre capacity, and the journey back and forth to the bunker, the silo at the BGA, is quite a trek. It's quite time consuming. I've actually wondered if it isn't maybe quicker to dump out the grass from it by the field where it's picking it up, and then use the bucket to fill up the trailer and then take it over to the BGA that way. It is also quite glitchy when you're emptying it. I've kind of got the hang of it. It's weird. You've kind of got to point it to the east. It's very odd. But it might be a little bit quicker. We'll think about it. We'll see how we're getting on. Right, let's get this harvester back out to continue his work. The mighty foreshrit. This is going to be quite hard to do in here. I've got to remember where. No, it's just not going to work. Now we've got that big long field of corn to harvest, so we're going to get the harvester going first on that, I think, today, simply because I want to see how the staff get on at the far end of the fields with those issues we had with that fencing and boundaries and what have you. So I'm thinking, let's see what this guy can harvest, and then let's see what we might either chaff or harvest manually. If it's all too much for the students. Right, I'll get back in here now. Oh, I'm very low on fuel. Should have thought of that whilst I was in the farmyard, but I didn't, unfortunately. I think we'll be okay. We'll keep an eye on it. If you do run out of fuel, well, in fact don't run out of fuel, I'm sure in previous versions of the game, if that happened, you could kind of go into a limp mode and get to a fuel bowser somewhere or a fuel cell point. In this game, if you run out of petrol, as I found out on Sosnovka, you literally cannot do a thing. So you have to get a fuel bowser, go and fill it somewhere, bring it to the vehicle. It will not move. Right, off we go. Over to you, worker. Aha, we're at the cow slurry fill point where we can take our first 8,000 litres of slurry just to finish the field beyond the bale shed. Up here we need to pop in, look, and clean up this trough. It is definitely something you need to keep on top of. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. Sorry, that was an awful camera angle. I'm not that concerned because we started quite late today, and every day I'm playing with fast plant growth, so hopefully if we can keep going quite efficiently every day, the latest harvesting crop will be earlier in the day, harvestable. Because we did have a little break today of a couple of hours of game time between finishing the first section of fields and the fields up by the farm being ready. And that's what we want to kind of iron out. Ultimately, we want everything to kick off at the same point and have enough equipment to do that. That's fine. In fact, you can now come straight through to these top fields and then fill up with digest bait, which we should, I guess, have about 36,000 of today. But we'll have a look when we're there. The harvester stopped already. See, this is what I feared. Where's he got to? He's not going to cross the field boundary. Right, we're going to plough this out today. If I turn him back on, he should just carry on down there. No. Am I too close to the neighbour's field here? Was I? No. There we go. The Massey 20. We're just going to try to get one of these bags of seed at least out and just leave it over in this hut. We're right next to field 18, as I mentioned before, which is where that Massey seeder has been popping back to the farm to refill. This will save it that little bit of time. And diesel. These bale spikes are so fine, it's actually quite hard to see where they're going. Right. That looks about right. That sense. And there. How is this going to handle the weight? We've got a 500 kilo back weight. That's much better. Can we put it down? It doesn't really matter if this tumbles over, I suppose. How much is in there? 930. That's a couple of days worth there. Let's just see what's in the other bag. I don't think you can pick them up sideways onto that loop as well, which is something else you really need to bear in mind. Let's try to get this one off, or at least weigh him. Missed it up a little bit. Right, that would pick it up from the other side. Have we got hold of him? Yeah, but we're not weighing him. Let's put him down. No. Oh, see, that's the disaster point. Right, once they've tipped over like that, I found no way of picking them up. So we'll just put him in here. We don't know how much is in there, that's odd. And then, I have noticed we need to raise that back weight right up. Try and get this trailer hitched nicely, sorry traffic. Because we did have a little bit of an issue earlier. We've dropped the back weight. We want to pick up the trailer. Is that going to attach nicely? With the weight of those bags of seed, it tipped the trailer back, and attaching it to this tractor was a nightmare. I'm pleased to say the student has picked up this Belinda again. The very person who ploughed it out with the cultivator yesterday made this field what it is today. Anyway, our new addition. We've seen the Massey 600 struggle with one bag with no back weight. We've seen the 20D handle one bag fine with a back weight at sea. Now this machine, I guess because of the tracks, the way it's modelled, has an incredibly low centre of gravity. That is something that, if you want to use this for forestry, makes it excellent. You don't need a back weight. The vehicle's shorter, it's much more manoeuvrable, especially in some of the rougher woodland. But he can pick up 2 of those, 4,000 litres, no problem. Now, I'm not going to hold him responsible for how well these stay on, but there you go. Look, that's the problem with these bags. There was no reason for them to fall off them whatsoever. No reason at all. We'll put them away one at a time. We're going to put them in here. And this machine again, look, it twists, it turns pretty much on the spot. It's great for these little tight yards. And it can seed with the big Massey seeder, and it can plough. Everything we needed to keep things moving here. Okay, we're in the Massey 200C, and we are ploughing. You want to see where we're ploughing out this grassed area here. It's a little bit unusual that you can't set workers going on this, so it isn't kind of counting as a field in that state, in that way. But when it comes to ploughing it like this, you don't need to allow create fields. It's kind of counting it as a field in terms of its status as ground in that way, which is a little bit odd. But anyway, you can see exactly what we're aiming for here. We're going to take out that last bit that kind of forms the boundary last. The Lidner is ploughing with the new plough that we got, the smaller one. The Hat's had a go and can do it, but does it a little bit slowly. So he's going to be seeding, which is much more appropriate anyway. And then the field next door, which is planted with canola today, as is the bottom field, so we're going to harvest those when we're done with the corn, which all harvested, by the way, in these fields. Apart from those areas between the fences, the harvester is now over in field 3, harvesting the corn over there. We'll go and check on him in a minute. It's his first go, so he might have got a bit tangled up. I can't see him moving across the... Oh, there he is. Look, he's fine. You see him right underneath the castle, the chateau, the whatever we're going to call that we can't get to because it's beyond the glass wall, keeping the peasants away. But there you go. So this was fertilised before I started ploughing, as was the field. So these should all be nicely in sync, so that once that field is ploughed out, the fertiliser can just run. I've left a bit of a boundary when I was ploughing down there to give the harvester and stuff room to turn round, but I've just thought actually that as soon as I cultivate this land and let the worker do it, he's going to go right down to the edge of there anyway, because he can. So we'll deal with that. We might need to actually see if it's too much of a problem, get a roller out and replant the kind of grass that doesn't count as field. In previous games, if you planted grass, then it would count as sort of an uncrossable field boundary. In this version it doesn't. There you go. Lovely jubbly. Right, so what we're going to do, I'm not really sure. We're going to wait till we've harvested that field. I guess ultimately this could become one huge field all the way down here. So that's probably what we're going to end up with. I'm just watching how Susanna is getting on with the ploughing today. I'm not too happy about her PPE attitude. And I have had a word, sandals are not really appropriate when working with machinery, but what can you do? Lovely view. Lovely, lovely view. We have finished harvesting. I remember what order I put the vehicles into. I have actually wiggled around. Boosha, shh. Don't talk about him. We've refueled the harvester. It was popped back into the yard to pick up the grain header. Here you can make it past the silo in one piece. I understand there's going to be some kind of little damage system in 19, so I might have to start being a little bit more careful. Can we get around here? Yes, we can. We seem alright with the implement here going over the wall on the left, as long as we keep it away from the tangly fence on the right. There we go. We're through. And we're going to get started on... We've got wheat up here. We're going to do that last today, just in case we've got time or the inclination to bale. So we're going to get on with the canola first, and then we can get on with the ploughing and the field rearranging. Which way should we bother? It's almost square now, isn't it? Doesn't really matter which way we let the worker go in terms of reducing number of turns. There you go. Get on with that. The Massey 600 is here with the 2-metre plough, ready to plough out field 3, which has now been harvested. Apart from a little patch around under this tree, the harvester got on absolutely fine with that. The Deutz is going to refuel with digestate. We got 27, sorry I should have shown you before I started, we got about 27,000 litres of digestate today. I think when I guessed a little bit earlier how much we'd get, I forgot what a good price we got. Didn't factor that in. Right, off we go. And once we've done field 3, which we're going to do manually, because I think it'll only be a run up and a run down, we are going to go external, of course, to check widths. There we go. And then we can get the seeder going with the 2-row seeder, and we're going to plant sunflowers in that field. Oh, it's getting very slow up here. This definitely saves a little bit of slurry. If you take the time, I've jumped out, I turned the slurry off at the same time, that's okay. Can be worth just bringing it manually up to the tops of these fields on the inclines, and so the slurry is only being dispersed on the way back down. If you want to be ultra efficient, that is something you could consider. Alright. Get back inside here. I think we should almost be able to line this up. Put him in here by now. See how good a job we can do. Little bit maybe. Not to worry, let's see if the fertiliser will just go straight over this boundary as well. I'm sure it will. Things are coming together very nicely here, and we're making money nice and quickly. We are going to go and sell that Congo, and we can make it past there. But then you're going to be in the way, aren't you? You're going to come down. Yes, there we are. Right, okay. So he can start ploughing. Who have we got today? Jack. Fantastic. Like your hat, like your boots. Share some of those with your colleagues maybe. Gloves even. Fully PPE'd. Like it. Here we are. Progress is being made. We're working into the evening, but it's been a very busy day. The fields to our left, 5 and 3, are being planted in corn. In fact, we've all had a little tea break because we've had a very busy day, so let's just get this guy getting on with that. They don't like getting too close to the fences, they really, really don't. But that's alright, and we're just getting around with this Deutz, getting the fertilising done. We've harvested the field of wheat. We may or may not bale it, I'm not quite sure yet. I think we probably will. So let's just get this guy going. You can see what we've done here. We have planted sunflowers where we had the corn. We have planted barley down here, divided by that strip of grass back that direction. Ready really to buy and incorporate Simon's field as and when we can. And the equipment is working out well. We do need to gradually expand, or as I say, the days are going to get longer and longer. There will be a second harvester at some stage. It's still quite funny about the field boundaries up here. Once we bought Simon's field, we would have a much easier time with the workers up around there. We're going to move that water tanker finally. We can top the cows up, get it out of the way. Now we just get this guy set up on this field. I'm going to get him going and then I'll come back and tidy up. Lidner is in the grass pasture over here. We're going to plough it out. Well, we are ploughing it out. That's as close as we can get to that fence without claiming we don't own the field, so that's about as good as we can get it. But let's see how the yield goes up. I think we got 3 bales out of this last time. I'll check the episode when we mowed it to confirm and see what increase, if any, we get. As I say, it's a little bit odd. Right, we're going to call it an episode there. I'm going to finish off the bits and bobs. I've still got the grass to pick up. I've still got that field to get organised, field 4, and I may get back into the woods. It depends how dark it gets. The Lidner may go over and pull a few more trees out. We need to get on and get these fields brought up. As you know from my other playthroughs, I don't usually do a lot of forestry. I don't usually do silage selling at all. But here we're here to make money. I'm going to use every method I know, and perhaps even some of the cheeky ones along the way. So thanks very much for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you'd like to stay in touch. We're nearly at 100 subs. I've been informed I've got caught on the demon fence. Look, we'll sort that out in good time. I mean, easily distracted as ever am I. We've got caught on the fence completely here. There we are. I think we're off it. No. Oh, assistance is required. There's another corner of this map that keeps catching me out. There we are, we're off. Fantastic. There was a little jump cut back there. I'm sorry, I may have said a naughty word. But there you go. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll be back with you on Altenstein very soon. Take care and goodbye. What a beautiful view. That's going to be a screenshot.